Hello, true art believers, and welcome to today's live art stream. This is Pierson here. I am the number one live art streamer in the world, and you are watching 500 Days of Drawing. Today is what day is it really? It's day 480. We're doing day 480, and I'm going to show you how I draw a cactus. And let's get started, shall we? Alrighty then, let's get this all ready. Okay, I'm ready to go. We're gonna go as fast as we can. I'm gonna try to be as quick as I can with this because it's a where is okay, I'm having technical difficulties. At the moment, I gotta find my screen here. For reals. Okay, what is happening here? Okay. All right. I apologize for that actually. I really do. My screen just went blank. It went blank and I just couldn't find where my screen was at. Like I don't know why. I minimized the window just like I did now. Oh wow. Okay, so now I got it sorted. So what happened was I pressed the window minimizer, like I minimized the window, and then the whole like my whole Mozilla Firefox browser just disappeared. Like even when I wanted to open it back up, it wouldn't open back up. So there we go. I got it all sorted. Let's get started. Easy peasy. All right, we're gonna get started right about now. Okay, time to get started, man. Oh my gosh, that was rough. It took me 4 minutes to get started. That's not cool. So, what you want to do is, I'm gonna press G, press B. There we go. Oh my gosh, technical difficulties. Now let's start, man. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. All right. Sorry about all of that. I was having some issues with everything. All like certain like icons and my mouse icon wasn't showing correctly on my screen for some odd reason. The window was disappearing. All kinds of stuff. So we're just gonna go through this as quickly as we can. And let's go. I'm gonna. What I typically do for my cactus is I usually do a simple background like this, and I like to use circles, simply just to kind of add something on here. So I use a flat tone for the background, then I have another layer that I use for the shapes, and I just kind of fill that in, and then I kind of just go at it. Just so the next thing I do is I lock the layer pixels like this, and then, which is this little icon right here, it locks the layer pixels, which allows me to draw only on that layer alone. So that's what I like to do. All right, I'm gonna use the brayer. Use that brayer again. So I like using the brayer brush. It's kind of fun. Go back to this brush. And after I use the brayer, I typically use something else. But yeah, man. Gosh, there's been a lot of technical issues today. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. Now I need to look for all my brushes here. What's Grinder do? And I'm going to use the, my felt tip, the vinyl brush. I like the vinyl brush. It's kind of like the brayer, but only it makes like a transparent effect. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use like some watercolor effect. Something for like, as you can see, it just makes that a nice, pretty, like a really interesting, like layering effect that's kind of interesting to see. And let's go ahead and type in water. Real watercolor. I like that. I like using that. Oops. And we're going to use this like watercolor brush to kind of create just kind of like these weird like inconsistencies with the background. I don't know if I like that particular one, but I'm going to try something else. And I think I'm done. Let's go ahead and do my cactus. Now, this is not, you don't need to be doing this. This is strictly what I do for my cactus drawing, because I like to play around with the background and have an abstract background. Don't like the color, the color combination, but I'm going to leave it like that. What I really want to focus on for how you want to consider drawing a, gosh, I apologize, everyone. I had 3 things just like compound to make for a bad start for this live stream. Like the window disappeared on me, and that took like 2 minutes to kind of get that window back on, so I couldn't see my web browser. And then the brush settings were I wasn't able to see like my dot for my drawing. And so that kind of affected it. So what you want to do for your, and then you know, that took me a lot. I don't know. I had a bunch of things kind of build up. So for a cactus, this thing pickle. All you got to do to start drawing a cactus is you're just going to be drawing pickles. You know, or a balloon shape, right? A balloon-like shape, and then another balloon-like shape, and then another balloon-like shape. Okay? I will keep this shape for this, and then my balloon shape is going to be kind of like this on this side, and we'll have another balloon-like shape on this side. Okay? And then you want to draw a box in the base. You don't have to draw a box. It could be ellipse. It could be anything. But I do a simple little box that I use as the pot that have angles that go away from the viewer like this. And it doesn't have to be perfect at all. As a matter of fact, the less perfect it is, the better, especially for this type of style. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like that. It's centered. Lock the layer. Now, I'm gonna fill in the pot using an opaque brush, which is basically gonna be a flat tone. I usually use like an orangish tone, because I'm assuming that the pot is like, you know, made out of like that brown ceramic stuff. And I got it on multiply. I don't know how I do that every time. And the flow is off. And the transparency opacity is off. Wow. This is what I was talking about. I've had so many weird things happen today. So like my mode was on multiply. The opacity was on 90%. The flow was on 50%. And in the past, I used to not be able to figure out what was wrong with my brushes, because I was not well versed in Photoshop. And now that I'm a little bit better at it, I know what areas I need to check when a certain effect like that happens. So normally I kind of do this straight, but lately I've been kind of being very sloppy with how I approach the edges of my pot that I'm making here. So if it's sloppy like this, I don't really care. Okay, so it's sloppy. That's good. As a matter of fact, I actually enjoy it being sloppier. Now we're going to go with the sand using a opaque brush just like before. Got to make sure it's on normal mode. Opacity is 100%. Flow is 100%. So that's good. And I usually use like a yellow ochre, which is basically a brownish yellow. And then I just kind of erase it all. After I do that, I erase it so that there's like a trim. So like a little bit of a trim here. Like this. It doesn't have to be perfect. It all depends on your preferences. I'm not like giving you a like strict guideline on how to do this. This is just a way that I do this simple cactus. And then I go to the cactus. Now, if I guess I could do a really in-depth version of this, but I'm trying to keep my drawings done in 30 minutes, so I can't really focus on like these minute ideas. So as I said, use the okay, I don't like that color. We use this color. And something like that. And then we're going to do this. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the eraser tool, but I'm going to make it on a softer edge. So use a hard edge so that there's like a little bit of fade around. Notice that there's a little bit of a fade happening on these edges here. That's on purpose. I'm just doing that on purpose for this type of cactus drawing. I've been doing a lot of fades, having my cactus have a little bit of a softer edge around it. So I'm just going to purposely like erase certain areas give it a little bit of inconsistency around the edges, just for like aesthetic purposes, you know. And it doesn't have to be perfect like this. Just kind of soften up the edges a little bit. Let's take it up the line work, get that line work off, and go back to the cactus, soften up the edges. Kind of do something like this. Yeah, soften the edges on this side here. There we go. I think that's good. Press B. Now we're going to fill this area up again. And now we're ready to start. Ready to kind of fill it up, work on the details. Not even like details, just kind of like adding simple shading. I got my layer right here. As you can see, it says pot. I'm going to lock the layer of pixels. Lock transparent pixels. Bam. As you can see, it puts a little lock on the bottom right here. And I'm going to use a texture brush. This is a specific texture brush that I got through the website Paintable. And I don't know if you can get access to it, but you can use a brush that's similar in the dry media area of Photoshop that has like a pastel or charcoal like effect, so where it's a little bit toothier. So you just kind of fill this up a little bit and just kind of play around with the tones. I'm running a little bit behind because I didn't expect to have so many technical errors at the very beginning. Actually, I didn't expect any of that to happen. I just kind of happened. And so, you know, notice how I'm just kind of like almost like just kind of moving the brush around in weird angles. That's fine. It's fine. This is mainly an exploration of texture, and if it's not, yeah, we're just exploring texture and playing around with it, like that, like this. All right, now let's do another layer, connect it, and kind of just make this really bright here. Like this. And on this area, I am going to make it darker because I'm going to expect there's going to be a shadow here. So I'm going to make this area darker to kind of create a cast shadow, essentially. And one more layer, and I'm going to do a color that's opposite of this background color. So we're going to do like a bright blue, especially on these areas right here. I'm going to do something like that. And, maybe like a red on this side. And then like a red, yeah, and then maybe even like a dark red. And there we go. That's done. Now let's work on the sand. Again, very quick. I got to lock the transparent pixels. And then we just basically make a dark tone right here. Notice that I'm following this angle here to kind of create that notion of a cast shadow. And sand is typically pretty, I do it pretty quick. So like it really, it's just kind of just playing around with shadow. I think this is fine. I'm going to copy this layer, this blue, and maybe use it right here. Oh my gosh, it's loud outside. Not a good time to be doing a live stream when there's like literally people outside doing landscaping, and this is like you can't hear anything, man. Well, we're just trying. I want to get this done because I got to do another one later tonight to catch up. There we go. Now let's go ahead and that's done. And we're going to go ahead and do the cactus drawing right here. Use lock the layer, transparent pixels, use the airbrush. And we're just going to do something like that. Do something like this. Like that. And then bada bing, bada boom. Very quick. I'm going to try to just blaze through the cactus today. I really want to get it done. So I'm just kind of going from light to dark on this cactus. There's no like rhyme or reason with it. I'm just trying to imagine a light to dark a light source, and imagine the source going light to dark from left to right, using a texture brush. And the texture brush gives me a little bit of forgiveness with that, because it gives me a little bit of leeway on value, because since I'm using like this really textury brush, it allows for a little bit more lenience with the aesthetic. So I don't have to be realistic with it. It's just trying to adhere to some form of light to dark tones. And if it doesn't look good, it's okay, or look decent, or look realistic, that's fine, because we're not really searching for that. We're looking for more of a different aesthetic here, which is what we're trying to do here, is we're looking for a different aesthetic visually. All right, just kind of playing around here, having fun. There we go. Let's add a little bit of a darker tone here, and so forth. Just kind of play around. Don't really worry about the outcome. And then now, all right, just kind of filling this area up like this. I'm not gonna lie, I'm struggling a little bit today. I'm overthinking it. Right? I'm overthinking it. Possibly because I got stuff on my mind at the moment. And when you're drawing, there's gonna be times where you do overthink your drawing, and it's okay to have those thoughts, right? It's okay to kind of have that occur. Don't worry about it. Just kind of keep pushing through those emotions, I guess, and just focus on the task at hand, and just kind of keep on chugging along with the drawing, because eventually it's going to come through. It's going to start working. It's going to visually work out itself out, and it might take a little while. Like right now, it's taking a minute. It's taking a minute to really get that type of like aesthetic that I'm looking for. Even though I have gotten pretty good at reaching a certain aesthetic, so I think I'm done with that. Normally, I want to do a specific type of texture, experiment with new textures, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to add a yellowish hue to some of the shadows and highlights on my cactus. So I'm going to add a yellowish hue to the shadows. Of my cactus, so that it feels like it kind of goes with this background here. So there's going to be a little bit of yellowish tones here. And I'm going to do the same thing with the highlights. We're going to kind of actually maybe even do like a really, what if I do like a really rich, no, it'll have to be it's going to have to be like a different tone, like an orange, something like this. Do a little bit of orange here. Then do like a darker orange. On the bottom and sides here, just for fun. And I think I'm done with that now. Let's go ahead and do the thorns. Let's kind of knock it out of the park. I've talked about this in the past. I keep it very simple with my thorns. I use like a hard edge brush, which is basically like a pressure sensitive brush that kind of allows me to have light tones and also dark tones. So it's just pressure sensitive brush that's about 12 pixels in size. So I have to do that manually, because if I go it the way that Photoshop works is it kind of jumps from 15 pixels to 12 pixels. I mean 15 pixels to 10 pixels. All right, so here we go. Let's kind of add like these thorns here. Beep. Just kind of get them knocked out and then call it a day. And as you can see, I'm just placing them kind of random. Actually, not even random. They're more like bands. Notice how they're kind of like bands around the cactus here. And that's what I'm doing, is kind of placing them as like bands around the cactus. Sometimes I go up and down, zigzag a little bit. I'm trying to be sparing with it as well. I'm trying not to overly put too many of them on my cactus. Just trying to be very sparse with them. And yeah, there we go. And now let's go ahead and do this cactus area. Like this, just making giant V's essentially. Just giant little V's. Not even giant V's, it's like little bitty V's. Like that. Put one right here, one right here, and let's go to this side. Very easy, nothing too out there. Just moving along with your thorns here, and just maybe put one right here. And one right here, just gonna put some right here. And boom, that's how I do my cactuses, man. That's how to draw a cactus. Very simple. Again, it takes a little bit of practice, and you don't have to do this textured background and stuff like that. All I really want to say is, like, when you're doing your cactus, your main focus on the shape is just doing the balloons right here, and a balloon and another balloon. The box doesn't have to be a perfect two-point perspective. It can be like a very janky, very imperfect square, because for this technique, if you are applying it this way, you can get away with a lot. So now I'm going to put my signature. I'm going to call it a day. I will be back later on today to do one more cactus drawing, and then after that, it's going to be back to my 100 days of portraits, 100 days, 100 head challenge. I just kind of got a little bit behind, and doing my head studies takes me an hour or so, and I don't have that. I don't have an hour of free time. So let's go ahead and get my basic brushes here, and we're going to go ahead and sign the bottom right here. TMP year 22. This is cactus number 165. And it is day 480. Woo! And I think I want to shrink that down a little bit. No, we'll leave it like that. That is it, my friends. Yeah, I think it's, yeah, we'll leave it. No. Yeah, that's it. I am done. I am done, my friends. I hope you enjoyed today's live art stream. I will be back later. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching and taking time out of your day to watch me struggle and come up with a semi-decent cactus drawing. Anyways, I got to get going. I wish you all the best. And if you ever have any questions on how to do one of these cactus drawings, feel free to contact me or message me or post your questions in the comments section on YouTube. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.